Welcome back to the City League Grand Final. Goes big dangerous into the back.
Sorry about that. I had myself muted on the stream. That's great. Great start. This is why I should not host. But as I was saying, we've just witnessed Mostar Hornets take their game against United Bialystok quite convincingly. We will shortly have the HuB Leuven versus the HuB Valence coming up for you. Last week, the HuB Leuven took quite a decimating defeat against Ghent Giants, losing 16-7. And Swordfish Banja Luka beat HuB Valence last week 16-13. So this could end up being quite a close game. What do you think? What is your prediction going into this game, Benelot?
I have honestly never seen either of these two teams play. They are new for this season. I don't really have much of a prediction. I'm gonna favor whichever team starts on T side. I feel like it is a T-sided map. It's gonna benefit them, if they only need to go into CT picking up only 4 or 5 rounds as opposed to trying to pick up 10. So, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we are playing Dust 2, so it can be quite a T-sided map, providing the Ts have their playbook down and sorted with all of their A-site pushers and their B-site pushers. So we'll see if whoever starts on the T side has those tactics in their playbook. But going off last week's games, as I said, the HuB Leuven didn't really get much of a chance to get into the game. But against Swordfish Banja Luka, who, if I'm right, were Season 4 champions, the HuB Valence did very well to keep themselves in that game and not get steamrolled by Banja Luka. It was a very close game on Mirage, but we'll see how they fare on Dust 2. And yeah, I'm quite looking forward to this matchup. Leakim, I think Leakim's on HuB Valence. I could be wrong. Leakim played very, very well last week. So we'll see if he can produce a repeat performance. Following this game, we do have Season 4 champions Swordfish Banja Luka going up against Ghent Giants, and that is going to be a very entertaining game, I can assure you now. Last week, DFX played out of his skin against the HuB Leuven, and I want to see if Swordfish Banja Luka can combat that in any way. Now, if I'm right in thinking, did you cast much of last season, Benelot?
Yeah, I casted every week last season, a couple seasons before that. So, yeah, I haven't seen these two teams before.
So, yeah, you can see, well, you have an idea that if HuB Leuven, if the HuB Valence did very well to hold off Swordfish Banja Luka that last week, then they've got a very good footing in this game if they manage to hold off the Season 4 champions. Would you agree?
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
So hopefully we'll shortly be getting into the game. It looks like all of one of the teams is there. I'm not sure who that was. I didn't see a name anywhere on the screen. Could be just me being blind, but yeah, we should shortly be getting into the game, into the ninth round to decide who's on that crucial T side. But yeah, what is your experience with Dust 2? What do you prefer to be on? I know you said earlier T side is it's the easier side to start on, but when you're going into that game, what do you prefer to play on?
I mean, so yeah, I definitely personally I'm a CT fan on pretty much every map. I'm a CT minded player. I just like to sit at the back of a site with an M4 and watch people run down tunnels towards me. But yeah, there's definitely room for that on Dust 2. You know, there's literally a place called Tunnels. So it'll be
Yep.
interesting to see how this map plays out. I know we do have teams in the league they've got really good CT side with their T side lacking. I don't know what these two teams are like, but yeah.
Yeah, you have a very similar mindset to me. I'm very much a CT sided player. But it does seem like we are very close to getting into gameplay. And just quickly, before we do start, remember that we are sponsored by HyperX. We do have 3 giveaways going on right now across all of our social media. And then we will have one more giveaway during the grand final broadcast of the LoL and the CSGO finals. And all of the players of the winning teams in the leagues of LoL and CSGO will both win HyperX Alloy FPS RGB keyboard and a Pulsar Surge mouse for each player. So yeah. And HuB Valence take that ninth round very convincingly. And let's see what they decide to do in this game.
Unsurprisingly, they choose to stay. Actually, no, sorry, they flipped.
No, they switched to CT. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Oh, they obviously prefer their CT side. They feel they're more practiced on it, which is always good.
I feel if you're on CT side and you get that pistol round, it gives you a lot of. It can give you a lot of momentum going forward. If you get that pistol side with the pistol round with the USPs, you get a lot of momentum. You get a lot of your nerves almost fade away. Take that pistol round on CT quickly. So that's one of the reasons I would have picked CT side, just because once that pistol round is out of the way, you can settle down, you can get into your tactics and just get on with the game. And it looks like we'll be starting right now with the HuB Leuven versus HuB Valence on Dust 2 with week 3 of season 5 of CSGO of the City League. So let's get into it. Oh, a Troud with a nice early pick onto Grim. I don't know what he was doing there, sat in the corner. Are we possibly going to get something strange is going on here? No?
What's up?
Okay.
No?
No, one of the players of the HuB Leuven was just AFK in T-spawn, so I thought something could have been wrong, but no. Looks like we're continuing. Oh, that was a nice pick on for Panman onto Leuven, just stepping out of mid without a care in the world. And yeah, straight back to being balanced with that early pick from a Troud.
Yeah, I mean there was clearly a call, you know, once they fell at that middle position for a Troud, backed off a little bit, got their eyes on that kind of lower tunnels. Won't see anyone in it, but they would be ready should people come surging out of it. And talking of surging out of it, here come the T's onto the B site. Hakesum will be the sole defender over on the B site. Finds one with a beautiful headshot. Not able to find anyone else though, but did buy a little bit of time. Their teammates are in a little bit of a position to push in. Perhaps not as on the site as they would have hoped for, but...
That's a lovely bit of play there from STN, just taking out Yuri as he tried to cross and then just following him, knowing he did the damage.
Yeah, 1-0, so first round going to the CT side, which of course this was HuB Valence's pick. They chose to switch to the CT side. Well, that pick appears to have paid off for him.
Right, so into round 2. Sorry, 1 second. You just take over for a sec.
Sure, no worries. So, we are seeing just a 1 over on the B site from the CTs. which is a very odd strategy, especially if you can be expecting a rush at this kind of round 2. Maybe be wary of a Mac 10 rush, kind of other S&G rush from the T's. So having just one, especially with just an MP5 over on the B site, it's a bit risky, but there's no rush from the T's for now. Looking for more information. Not going to find anyone. Very disciplined game being played here by HuB Valence.
It is Leakim that is on that B site, and he did perform very well last week. So it's obviously that HuB Valence have a lot of confidence in him as the T's push up towards mid. Usually going down to SCN. SCN getting a second, Duncan is up. That pop flash coming in to allow a Troud. Gets 2, taking down Panman and Tedderson. Grim picks up a UMP from Tedderson's cold dead hands.
A Troud! Someone check that guy's mouse drivers. Oof.
Beautiful.
3 beautiful headshots. Lovely.
Now we can see HuB Valence after taking those first 2 rounds. This HuB Valence that took the 2 rounds. I'm probably wrong now. Watch me be wrong. Oh no, I'm right. Okay.
No, you were
I have
right.
more confidence
This time.
in myself. Yeah. But now we see the first full gun round coming out from both teams. 1 SG on the map on a Troud, which is interesting. They decided to keep that, but I don't think they could afford to upgrade him. But the HuB Leuven do have complete AKs across the board with some decent utility and all head armor, so they have a very good chance to get into this game right here.
Yeah, there's not a lot going on for these T's. This is the third, well, at least the second, if not the third round in a row that they've played very passive. Even when, they were so behind in guns like last round, they still tried to play it passive and get information, which ultimately cost them because the CCs had plenty of time to set up.
This is exactly what caused them last week against Ghent Giants. They were playing so passively that Ghent Giants on the CT side were just pushing up mid, pushing up long, and just taking the fight to them, which the HuB Leuven couldn't take. So the fact that HuB Valence are doing the opposite to what Ghent Giants did and still winning rounds is worrying the HuB Leuven. They need to be a lot more aggressive and take the fight early in order to win these engagements.
Oh, see that as SDN finds himself 2. Third, and STN finishing off the round with a beautiful headshot through the wall into Grim. A grim place for him to find himself.
Yeah, SDN and Troud both doing very well right now on 6 and 5 kills respectively to no deaths. So they are building up some nice economy on the on the CT side right now.
An aim rush coming out of the T's. It's going to prove entirely unsuccessful. They do find themselves 1, and they find themselves a 2nd, but at great cost that they have now lost 3 of their members, and CTs are wrapping themselves around to this A side. But now, Leakham, though, he's going down middle. He's going to run straight into 1T, finds the first, doesn't look around the corner enough to find Grim. We'll be able to get him with his Deagle. Now it's 2v1. It's doable now for Grim, especially if you can choose the right site.
I'm wondering whether a Troud actually caught Grim at the top of T spawn there with his SG. He might have spotted him, and I think he did because he had all the information he needed to wipe Grim off the server and take that 4th round for HuB Valence. Very much a one-sided map right now. HuB Leuven need to take a second and figure out what they need to do in order to take HuB Valence down right now because they are looking impenetrable.
Yeah, they need to kind of pull off, set pieces a bit more, perhaps. They are waiting out, they're getting the information, but then they're not really doing anything with that information. They're not adapting their nades or things like that just to it.
Yeah, so again, the HuB Leuven playing very passively, not taking any early engagements. I don't think they tried pushing a site before 45 seconds in this game so far, which, except from the pistol round, is very worrying. And the HuB there are just taking it all in their stride. They're just going to sit back like, yeah, run it off. You won't do anything.
Yeah, it's a difficult thing for HuB Leuven to come up with how they want to do this. There's a multitude of things going wrong, and when you're playing, that's what you're focusing on is your playing. You're less so thinking of the bigger picture. I don't believe any of our teams are allowed coaches whose job normally, in kind of pro league events, they would say, right, guys, you need to start doing X more, or you need to start doing Y. As they do find themselves an opening pick.
But Axum coming straight back in with a refire onto Edison. Oh, that was a lovely flip from STN. 6 seconds left. Either he's going to die, he needs to do it quick. He does. But Grim, is he going to go down after time? It could be detrimental. He goes down. 2 of them go down after time, I think.
I think it's just Grim. I think the other one went just before that.
Oh, Ginner's up survived, but he only has $100 left with that up, although he does have the head armor. But his team can't buy into this round, so he's just got to sit back and play passively now. Valence taking another round with ease. Again, the HuB Leuven showing no real threat towards the CT side right now. Completely one-sided. Let's see if they can do anything to turn this map around.
Sobat's in a great position, does get himself a little bit of information on one, has the nade ready though as Grim jumps up. Thankfully does not lose their lives, they are able to live to fight another minute. As the clock ticks down to just 1 minute and 6 seconds to go.
And Atroud still has this scout. He's had this for all around now. I don't think he's died still in this game. Very surprising that he's not actually upgraded.
STN and Atroud are both on 0 deaths right now.
Yes, STN and Atroud both showing how much they can do in this game, and the thing is, they're in most of the engagements, they're getting most of the kills, and they are taking the full front of the force from the HuB Leuven and still not dying. Lovely to see when a player can hold off a position so well and still survive. As we see Leakim holding the B site alone. One player gets past, gets the flick onto the second.
Trout showing how he knows to use every single gun in the game. He pulls off some deagle shots to find himself a kill. STN picks up another.
And as I said, Guinness Up would be playing passive. He's just saving the AWP into the next buy round, so the HuB Leuven can hopefully do something with it. It's hard to say. There comes the match pause from the HuB Leuven.
Yeah, something we did talk about last game, that teams need to reset themselves mentally. This game is as much a mental game as it is a kind of as it is a skill-based game. Yeah, absolutely. If you lose it in your mind, you're going to start missing those shots. You're going to get snappy with each other, and then people will get angry and they'll have things in their mind, etc., etc. So, yeah, tactical pauses are great, but not necessarily for the reasons people use them for. People often use them for, we actually need to discuss tactics, which, yeah, it's great. You should always do those in tactical pauses. But sometimes, even if you don't have any tactics you want to discuss, just take one anyway if you're behind.
So, viewer, whilst we are on this pause, why don't you go to cityleague.gg/hyperx-giveaway and enter some of the giveaways that we have happening right now. We have one over on our Twitter, one on our Instagram, and also one on our Facebook, all provided by our lovely HyperX sponsor. This stream is running on 32 gigabyte high-speed HyperX memory, and they are a great sponsor, and it looks like it's going to be a bit of a longer pause, so this could be a technical pause. Yeah, down below you can see it. Hopefully we'll be getting back into the game shortly. But yeah, so again, the T side right now from the HuB Leuven, they need to be a lot more aggressive. They can't just be sitting around and waiting to take engagements. And here we are back into the game. And hopefully we'll be seeing the HuB Leuven maybe trying to push a bit harder, a bit faster, and just try and catch these CTs off guard. But a Troud not even giving them an opportunity to, taking down Yuri within the first 20 seconds of the round.
Yeah, HuB Leuven, they're coming back into a renewed energy, which is always a good sign. You know, that they're not repeating the exact same things they were doing, that they're looking happier, if that makes sense. As far as you can tell it from the style of play, they're seeming more confident. Yeah, yes. Positively confident. You know, that they seem to be trusting each other more. You know, we saw before there was a round where two people pushed an angle and they both checked the same corner, almost as if, you know, one didn't trust the other to have checked it properly. Whether that was just miscommunication, just natural related instincts, or what, but you know, they seem to be playing happier.
Grim getting caught off in that smoke. Obviously, when you're in the smoke, you are pushing out of it. The CT, the enemy team can see you before you can see them. And a Troud going down with his first death of the game. Sad to see, but it had to happen eventually. Yeah,
and that's good news for HuB Leuven. They push into B side, just leak them left. You will find the 2 kills they need to be able to secure that round.
What Guinness Up was trying to do there was interesting. Like, he had an AWP, but he was trying to jump on top of the box when really his rifler should have been in that position, because he could have easily took down the player that was on car. But instead, Guinness Up tried taking that position, which certainly very interesting. But at least they're trying new stuff to try and make a difference. Hopefully, we do see a difference coming out very soon.
Yeah, so Bad is going to be playing a very aggressive forward angle with that AK on the CT side. Pop a smoke in long. Don't think he knows there's any T's there. They haven't made any kind of sounds to suggest they're there, other than the standard flashes thrown over the top. He's actually going to move to the off angle now. Ready for those headshots. Molotov comes out, forces the T's back, doesn't do any damage. They seem to suspect they're there, but I'm not sure they're 100% sure. They do still have Leakham over on the B site.
Yeah, Leakham has been just holding that B site alone. He's been anchoring there every single round.
Here comes the push, there goes 1, there goes 2, there goes 3! Before So Bad is finally taken down, and the rest of the T's are cleaned up.
Yeah, that was a pretty easy round for HuB Valence. They all lined up. They didn't even pose a threat to HuB Valence right there. And as I was saying, HuB Valence have complete confidence in Leakham right now. He's alone on that bomb site every single time, and the HuB Leuven have not taken advantage of it. I think they pushed B once, and that was the pistol round. That was the round they got closest to winning, when it was a 1v2. 2v2, and they unfortunately lost it, but they have not tried pushing B once since that round, and I think this is the same kind of thing that happened last week. They just constantly tried pushing A, tried forcing it, tried everything they could, but it just wouldn't happen for them, and they're doing it again.
Yeah, they've got to start picking up some rounds, especially on Dust when they're 8-0 down on the T side. This map, it's if anything, it's slightly T-sided, but it's most definitely not CT-sided. So they're going to really be struggling going into the second half.
Yeah, it's as I was saying. You need to have everything in your playbook in order to play well on T side of this map, and the HuB Leuven seem to not have anything in their playbook, and Guinness up just completely oblivious right now. Not even checked the angle.
Likium finally shoots, reveals himself, picks off Ginzup and Rim before Shroud through the door, finding the head of Yuri.
Can I have a replay of that, please? Somebody clip that. Wow.
It's a beautiful shot. STM will finish off Panman. So, yeah, that was... And it was a different angle for Likium to hold, and I think that's what threw off Leuven. It's not a place that's commonly held, but, you know, at the end of the day, you've also got to check those places because someone may just be sit there and they may just pop out and get a double kill. So
that's exactly what cost Leuven around there.
Yeah.
Guinness up was pushing the matter of B. Seeing there was no one there, he called out there was no one there, and his team rotated. Panman with two... Oh no, we got the first, sorry. Molotov goes on to Car, forces STN off the angle. Just one quick thing, still with no deaths, and as I say that, Caster's Curse, he died.
I think it's going to be a theme of the night. Caster's Curse, all the time.
This is looking very positive from the HuB Leuven. Although they have been pushing A every round, they seem to have made it work. A crowd jumping up, trying to get the no-scope. That would have been beautiful. Following that headshot wallbang from the previous
if he got it after that headshot.
And
finally,
crowd just trying to force the matter and just do what they can at the end of that round. A 4v2, very unlikely for HuB Valence to win. But the HuB Leuven, they're not going to get 16-0. They have one round on the board. But across the entire team of the HuB Leuven, they have 17 kills. 17 kills to the HuB Valence's at least 40, if not more. Yeah, about that, maybe.
Yeah, they're just not winning their gunfights, and whether that's just because, you know, there's a skill difference, or whether they're just not getting the drops on people, or what. There's something going on, and definitely that's their biggest thing they need to work on, is winning those gunfights.
This is looking a lot more positive from the HuB Leuven. They've actually took up their B stance. They are all in B upper halls, waiting to push that B bomb site. The flashbang comes in, doesn't actually hit them. Looking counter flash from it.
Not able to find anyone before he gets shut down, but he did buy time. Those teams took an awful long time getting out of the tunnels and onto the site fully. They do use up the utilities well. They block off a Shroud and so bad from getting any picks onto the site. The bomb's still not down though. Finally gets planted. I feel like Leuven, they know exactly what they need to do, they're just not practiced and they don't do it quick enough.
Look at the utility that is on the CT side right now. The bomb is planted, they still had, well, a smoke was just thrown, but they still had 3 smokes in order to retake this site, and they still have 2 Molotovs. One of them just gets used for general sight. Pedersen goes down.
Rim actually saw someone going behind, didn't communicate, and Haxon was able to push through and pick up 2. Doesn't matter though, the bomb will still blow up.
Wow.
But yeah, Haxon.
I thought for a second that the HuB Leuven had thrown that round away. Panman, for some reason, had gone to T-spawn. Not entirely sure what his thinking was there, but by the time he was running back towards the bomb and his teammates were dead, if it would have been a couple of seconds earlier, that round was lost.
So
he would have had no chance.
Yeah, I think they were actually there to sit there and watch for anyone rotating through tunnels. They did see it, but I don't know if they didn't call it out or people just didn't react, because the people who were stood with their backs to tunnels were still stood with their backs to tunnels right after their player called out that a CT was coming right behind them, and no one turned and they died. Which is
exactly.
something that happens in CS if you have your backs to the enemies. You generally don't win those gunfights.
It is looking a lot more positive for HuB Leuven. They might, if they get these next 4 rounds, they will go into the CT side with 6 rounds under the belt, which is a hell of a lot better than their position right now. But
yeah, Shroud is on absolute fire right now.
Haxon getting a nice double kill on that A short position. Wow.
That stopped this T push in its tracks. So
They do manage to pull 1 frag back in the form of green taking so bad. And doing decent damage onto Leuven too. They have a chance to get back into this. 30 seconds left.
they
You need to make a decision quickly.
Here they go. Panman will be the first to enter around the corner. A Shroud is going to be the one trying to hold the defense. From this box's position, so that STM finds one with the ult. Shroud with the jumping no scope couldn't possibly miss at that range. Finds Panman 10-2 to HuB Valence. The French team coming out on top.
One thing that I'm noticing from the HuB Leuven is their grenades aren't very good. I'm not sure who it was, but they tried mollying site default, and they hit the short wall and just Molotov the short catwalk. It's stuff like that that costs T-sides rounds. If those Molotovs aren't landing and clearing those positions, then they're going to have no chance to get these sites.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's Leuven finds themselves a kill over on the B tunnels. Let's see now why Leuven's left to hold down this B site by themselves. Round in, round after round, they keep performing, coming out on top. Of course, the job of the anchor isn't necessarily to wipe the entire terrorist side, but just slow down the push, buy time for teammates to rotate, get as much information as possible if you can. Sometimes it means just sitting back around past the corner, probably. Teams know, especially HuB Leuven, they're not a very confident team in their pushes. They know there's a CT there. They will wait that one out. And they will commit many people trying to get that one kill.
They can't wait for too much longer, though, with only 35 seconds left on the timer. But they've got a nice cross. They are going to pincer Leuven very well right now if they time this well. And Edison getting a nice pick on him. It's currently a 4v4. Edison is on very low HP, though. It's going to be a hard retake for the HuB Valence, as they don't have much utility. But neither do the HuB Leuven. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a close round. No matter what, as the CTs they use up all the last of their utility. They've got just a single flashbang left. One's so bad. It's 2 drop in from the window position. Panman finds 1, not able to find the second. Haxman is put very low and U-Tree finishes him off. Shroud tries to find U-Tree, not able to. Falling to Grim and Tedison. And 10-3. HuB Leuven back in this for 1 round.
Yeah, Tedison does sadly die to the bomb at the end, so he does lose the AWP that he had picked up. And yeah, the economy across the board for HuB Valence, and they forced into this round, even though they do have 1 more round following it. So, interesting call there from HuB Valence, but I guess when you've got 10 rounds on the board on CT side, you're not really too fussed about the last couple of rounds.
Yeah, I mean, every round helps. Especially if you're imagining that your opposition even may come back. Nice Molotov from Tedison. Not quite able to pick out Leuven, though, who's holding very aggressively with his deagle. Well, I should be able to find himself the kill on Tedison for his trouble.
I'm very disappointed in Tedderson. He should have done the damage that was actually done onto Leakim. His Molotov actually spread and did 8 damage to Leakim, which would have produced a sound cue. So Tedderson should have heard that and had knowledge of that position. But he goes down, and in that time, 2 more T's go down. 1 more T goes down in the form of Grim. But it's all down to Haxum against 3 Ts, and all he has is one of the most dangerous pistols in the game. Up against head armor, not so much, but we'll see what he can do with it. Looks like he may just be looking for the weapon that was dropped on short to save, possibly.
Hammond's going to try and deny on that one. He will throw out the Molotov and back off. Yeah, looks like he's going to be able to save himself a CZ and an AK.
Decent weaponry for the final round. And yeah, the HuB Leuven have managed to pull a few rounds back into this game, giving them potentially an opportunity to come back in the second half of their on their CT side.
I'm loving the skin of Valence. Great pink skins all the time. Great. Show us that CZ, Haxum. Come on.
Skins don't equal skill.
Wait, you mean if I don't buy a factory new hyper beast, I won't be able to just land instant headshots?
I wish it worked like that.
I don't.
But no. Now we're into the final round of the first half here on Dust 2 of HuB Valence versus the HuB Leuven in match 2 of week 3 of season 5 of the City League. There's so many ofs in that sentence. It's just obvious. Haha.
Oh. Anyway.
Moving forward
swiftly on. Here comes the beach. Trout shooting through the smoke, finds 1, Haxum finds the other, Trout finds 2, Haxum finds 3, Trout finds 4. That is the end of the HuB Leuven. 11-4 then to HuB Valence.
Yeah, that could have been a lovely push from the HuB Leuven, but coming out of that smoke, they just seemed so uncoordinated. One of the players got stuck and therefore basically stopped that push.
Trout shooting through the smoke, finds 1, Haxum finds the other, Trout finds
actually gets stuck on the right hand side of that wall.
2, Haxum finds 3, Trout finds
stops the rest of his team and lines them all up for a Trout and Leakim to finish off.
Yeah, a Trout on fire, 18-4, Haxum 15-6, STN 15-3. HuB Valence, they're not lacking skill and they have come to bring pain. HuB Leuven certainly feeling it. Their top player on only 8 and 13.
Yeah, I think
HuB
after this match, HuB Leuven might be in the hospital for a little while getting those wounds treated.
HuB Valence looking very happy. Like that guy in the baseball hat is looking great. Having the time of his life right there. Gonna jump right in then to the second half of game number 2 here in City League Season 5. This is our final group stage week, going into the semi-finals next week. And check out all the schedules, the results, fixtures, etc., sponsor information, and how to enter into our amazing giveaway to win some great HyperX gear over on the City League website. And you can also find the links there to the City League socials.
Yeah, we're going to see quite a quite passive from both teams once again on this second half. Just playing for the T side are playing for information. STN just waiting at A site with that smoke, just waiting for the call from his teammates to throw it, and there it goes out onto the A bomb site, and it looks like the A execute is going to come out from HuB Valence.
Yeah, it's a very slow round. We're down to just 35 seconds to go. And we've not even seen anyone die yet. Here we go. Poundman falls to Haxum. Leakum and So Bad able to find themselves Grim and Jinez up. It's the A site control going to the T's now then. Just Hedison and Hedison falls, leaving just Yuri, the Kawaka, to hold in this short position. Doesn't get seen. Able to find STN. Not able to land their shot onto Haxum though, and does fall. So HuB Leuven losing the round, 12-4 then to HuB Valence.
Yeah, a very clean round coming up from HuB Valence there. You can see that they are quite a well-oiled team, even on their T side. Their CT side they obviously know where their players play best, and they're utilising them to their best abilities.
Yes, it's in the standard 2-3 split here, although it's surprising they've got next to no mid coverage, which could be a real issue if the T's utilise on that. Not that I think they will. Looks like they're setting up for a playing up A push.
Tedison had some great information. He was actually pushing out of B long holes into those tunnels, but he pushed a little too far. And wow, Grim actually captured SUN off guard, and Inazop actually gets a second pick onto Leakin. This could work out for HuB Leuven. They've got some decent positioning, and as I say, that Pan Man just gets blown off the map by a Trout. Very well placed grenade. I don't see an opportunity for the HuB Leuven to get back into this round.
Yeah, this is very hard. They've got to retake this with just a P250 and a MAC-10. No armor going up against the 3 Ts left alive. And I say that now as there's literally just U-Tree and his P250 and his very adorable QR profile picture. 13-4 then, HuB Valence. They're looking very much unstoppable. What do you think Leuven need to change if they're to save the game? Now's the time to do it.
Well, we're seeing the first big buy round coming out from the HuB Leuven. They've got full M4s across the board. They've got decent utility using that smoke to get the clean cross with no damage done to them. And the HuB Valence don't actually have quite a strong buy into this round. 3 AKs, MAC-10 and a Scout. And so in this instance, I'd say that the CTs actually do have the advantage over the Ts if they can... As long as they don't go down to an easy pick early on, then it should be quite an easy round for the HuB Leuven to take.
Yeah, we'll have to see. The T's are they've got this mid control. Don't seem to be doing too much with it though. So they sit back. Leakum's going to throw a smoke off at A, run around, make a bit of noise. Doesn't trigger any rotations though, so no picks for So Bad. Just hanging in this mid position. And here comes the T push. In they go. They're not going to see Tedison behind the boxes. They do keep checking it though. Patience is rewarded as So Bad finds that pick. And now it's up to just U-Tree to try and hold the point, sitting in Leakum's position. Although Leuven, of course, knowing how to check just that spot, finds the kill, and the bomb goes down.
Yeah, an SCN who originally started off this round with a MAC-10 upgrades to the M4. So a nice big bonus in there. No money lost, providing he survives. And they're just going to hunt these players. They showing no remorse, showing no respect towards the HuB Leuven. And this is actually quite a similar scoreline to against Giants versus the HuB Leuven last week. It finished 16-7, but this has been, I wouldn't say a better performance for HuB Leuven, but they're not getting dominant. Oh, a Troud! I thought he was going to get that knife.
I don't think he expected anyone to be there, but that was a great saving spot.
Yeah, so HuB Valence taking the 18th round of this game, edging ever so closer to that much wanted and into the semi-finals.
Teaser take very rapid control of that B site.
And this is what happened last week. HuB Leuven's opposition just showing them no respect and just absolutely demolishing them and just showing no mercy at the eye of the ball.
Well, at the end of the day, it's a league. You're here to win. There's no point going easy on your opponents. You never know when you might come back into it. Finish it off, give it your best, see how far you can get. And that's precisely what HuB Valence have been doing. Props to HuB Leuven, though.
Yeah, and HuB Valence taking that 15th round, putting them onto match point, which ultimately will lead to a very interesting last game of today and last game of the group stages. Swordfish, Banjaluka and Gent Giants will be coming up next once this match finishes. And that ultimately will decide who goes through to the semi-finals of Group B.
Yeah, it will also be our final match of the evening. Sad time, but yeah,
Maybe we can get some overtime in that match to just, push it on a little bit longer.
Maybe, but either way, it will be a great game, and you can always see great games here on City League, so make sure to follow us on Twitter if you're not already. And we have a YouTube channel with odds and highlight reels posted. I may be completely wrong, but either way, if it is, it'll be linked on the City League website, which you find at cityleague.gg. As Panman is the final T left to save the game, he's going to flash himself out and surrender the match there. So, yeah, well played to both teams.
Overall, that was quite a easy win for HuB Valence there. Absolutely showing no remorse and taking that match with ease and putting themselves in a very good position to potentially put them into the semi-finals, depending on how this next match goes.
That guy in the hat and the cam, he is well into this.
Oh yeah, he's been going crazy after every single round win. It's been great to watch. I think he's a very big supporter, and it looks like they're just having. It's what you love to see, don't you? You love to see someone having fun and enjoying the game. That's what I love about CS:GO. It's got such a great following behind it, and it's just so much fun to watch. GG's to both teams. Overall, it was a good match. Great to see the HuB Valence coming out on top, so dominating so much. Yeah, and they look very happy with that win. Fist bumps coming out.
Yeah, well, they're through to the semi-finals now, I believe.
Well, depending on how this next match goes, they could be.
Okay.
That win puts them on a round difference of 15. So, is there a way it could work out? I think they're guaranteed through. Yeah, I think they're guaranteed through. It just depends on how this next match goes. Who else goes through from Group B? But yeah, that was match 2 of week 3, season 5 of the City League.
Production, can we see the cam from HuB Valence?
Want to see them dancing some more?
Apparently, there's a dance going on. Let's see what happens. But yeah, sorry I interrupted you. To
No worries. I want to see this dance too. But yeah, I think HuB Valence have cemented their place in this semi-final. Yeah, they look all very, very happy. Yeah, there we go. He's absolutely loving it. They're all loving it. That's what you love to see. I think they're
Oh, the dad
confirmed in the
dancing.
semi-finals. Oh, here we go. I love it. It's great. You got to see. You just love it when you see somebody having fun. But I think on the end of that lovely dancing. Oh, Lord, they've got some lovely. Oh, they've got that's Team Vitality, lovely French team who recently actually won the ECS Season 7 finals down in London, which I actually attended. It was a very good weekend. And they've got some lovely signed merch for them. And on that note, I think we shall send it to a break so we can prep for the next map. And whilst we're on that break, be sure to check out our website, check out all of our social medias, cityleague.dg, and we shall see you shortly.